Speaker Salon alum Keiya Rayne gives us insight into her very personal journey of the knowing and how we can tap into ours. She also delivers this speech with clear intention, tempo, and physical ease. This is the kind of power captivating speakers deliver.
On a beautiful morning in Southern California, my husband and I were contemplating having breakfast at this local restaurant. And I said to him, honey, something doesn't feel right about this place. And he responded, what do you mean, baby? Look at all these people enjoying their food. I went along with it despite what I was sensing. Well, after taking one bite of each nasty item, which included mushy pancakes, sugary watered down orange juice, and tasteless bacon, we left. Had we trusted that subtle knowing, we would have turned away and gone to this other restaurant right across the street, where we wound up having a fabulous meal. But the knowing cannot only save you from a crappy meal, it can also save your life. Like Peter Wakamba, who was about to board a flight from Kitale to Nairobi, Kenya, when something told him not to. Despite the agent's effort to convince him, Peter trusted his knowing and said no. Oftentimes, it seems our knowing goes against all logic because it is privy to what we cannot see. Even so, this must never prevent us from listening to and trusting its guidance. The knowing has been with me since I was a child. When I was 8 years old, my parents were deported from the Bahamas back to Haiti, where the poverty level was worse than when they had left. They struggled to find work and was desperate to return to the Bahamas, though this time it would be more difficult because they now had 4 children in tow. But like most people from the islands, they were very religious and had a close relationship with the minister of the church back in Nassau, who came to Haiti with a brilliant plan to get us all back. My parents thought their prayers had been answered. He suggested bringing us kids back first because we were Bahamian born and they would follow. Me being the eldest, I got to go first. And this was great news. The minister lived in a big, beautiful home, and his kids were always well dressed. I snobbishly said to my siblings, I get to leave, and you don't. The moment I walked through the door of the minister's home, I felt like I had stepped into hell. For the next 9 years, I was molested by 3 generations of men: the minister, the son, and the grandfather. Going to bed at night was torture because at some point during the night, I knew I would be touched. The minister would molest me in the office and then go on the pulpit and give a sermon. Yet somehow, I had a knowing that they could touch my body, but they couldn't touch my soul. Somewhere in the unfolding of this crazy nightmare, I knew that I was going to be okay. It gave me a spark of hope, and I held on to that hope for dear life. My father eventually made his way to the Bahamas, but he didn't take me to live with him. On a visit, I found in his wallet the phone number of my older half-sister who lived in New Haven, Connecticut. I saw this as a miracle and my way out. I contacted her right away, and she invited me to come and stay. While I was waiting for my visa to be approved, my heart was racing. Would I get it? If so, for how long? Later that day, when I went to pick it up, my heart was racing. My hands actually were shaking. And I opened the passport up and saw that I was granted a rare lifetime visa to the United States. Yes. I left that home at age 17, just as I knew I would. Free at last. So I thought. For the next 10 years, I would experience nighttime panic attacks thinking I was still back there. It got so bad that I would wake up every day praying, let this be the day that I die. Early one morning around 3 a.m. in deep despair, I just took a bunch of pills. As I lay there on the floor waiting for the pills to take effect, out of nowhere, a soft but stern voice said to me, "You were put on this earth for more than this. Get up." Now, because I was raised to be polite, I just did as I was told. And I immediately felt a profound sense of peace come over me like never before. I recognized that voice as the knowing, and I realized my life had changed. It seemed the knowing had left me during those 10 years because I was living in survival mode filled with anxiety and depression, and all that noise had just drowned it out. But when I finally got still, and yes, it was drug induced, I was now in a state of surrender and allowance. While the knowing can create miracles in our lives, we must first need to be aware that it even exists. And most importantly, have a sincere desire to connect with it. And how do you connect with it? Start by getting into stillness through meditation. Next, pay attention to the sensations in your body. Ask, does this feel light or does it feel heavy? Your body knows the truth. Next, pay attention to those subtle messages that you receive. Through this process, you will build and cultivate an intimate relationship with it. Today, I own my gift of the knowing as an intuitive healer and life transformation expert. I've learned how to embody and leverage its mystical working powers to transform my life and those of my clients. The knowing is the source of our higher wisdom. When we learn to listen and trust its knowledge, moment by moment, it'll guide us perfectly to our ultimate destiny, including saving our lives. Thank you.
If you have the desire to share your very important message from the Speaker Salon stage, go to speakersalonapplication.com. And be sure to share all of your takeaways from Keiya's talk with me. I would love to hear. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell, and I will always respond to your comments. Thank you so much for being here. Big love.